Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about replacing my head bulb on my Volkswagen Polo headlights. So basically, it's a halogen light, and when I took my car out yesterday at night, I realized that I was just lighting up half of the road. So I stopped at the side and I went out to inspect my car, and basically, the left hand side of the car wasn't lighting up the road because the headlight bulb probably had gone, because my car is approximately around 4 years old. So I think it's about time that the bulb needs to be replaced. I have never done this before, but I'm hoping that it's not going to be too complicated. So let's just see as to what I can do. I have my toolkit with me, and basically I think for all of these things we need to remember that the usual wear and tear parts are not that difficult to replace. So I think that I can give it a try. No one's asking you to open up your car and your engine and stuff like that. This is something quite minor. So let's see if I can get at it and replace my bulb. So basically I'm looking at my car, and as you can see, the right hand side is lighting up, but the left hand side is not. Now most probably this is a problem with the actual bulb. It shouldn't be a problem with the electrical system because the other one is lighting up, smaller one. So most probably my larger halogen bulb has failed. So let's pop the hood and see what kind of attachment we have for the headlight underneath the bonnet. So I've gotten the bonnet open, and as you can see, these screws over here seem to be attaching the basically helping to hold the headlight in place. And these two screws, this one and this one, seems to be the two screws that I can remove to get the entire headlight unit out of here. So I'm going to get my toolkit and have a look at what we can do. Most probably I'll require one of these to open the screws over here. Now since I have that, that's not an issue, and the toolkit that I have is quite basic actually, and you should be able to get it anywhere. So it seems that this is the largest one that I have, and this attachment should work for helping me get the screws out. So let's do that over here at the moment. So now let's open up these two screws. Doesn't seem to be much of a problem. It's coming off quite easily, so I'm happy about that. Let's just hope that these are the only two screws that I require to get out to actually remove the entire headlight assembly. Otherwise we'll have to open up a few more additional parts, but these two should be enough. Yeah, second one out. Now let's just take a look at what's inside. So basically over here, this seems like the only connection that's coming in to the lights. This is probably the unit that will basically the connector that will supply power to the lights, the indicators, and the main halogen bulb. So before we try to pull out the headlight, let's try and get this off. It looks like it's a clipping mechanism, so let's see if I can pull this off. So basically, to remove this, all you require is a flathead screwdriver. So I changed the head on my screwdriver, you basically position it into this hole over here, and it does take a bit of force to actually get it out, but just be careful with it. You can use both your hands and just pull out the actual cover. I did loosen it a little bit, as I couldn't hold the phone camera and also open this with just one hand. So once that's off, we should now be able to get the entire headlight assembly out of the actual car. So let's see if we can do that. It will take a little manipulation, so what I'll do is I'll pause the video and use both my hands to get this out. Alright, so I had to pause the video because I required both my hands to get this out, and as you can see, this is what it looks like. It does require a little bit of force, as these headlights have not been touched for quite some time, so it was quite stuck in over there, but there were no additional screws that I required to pull it out. And basically this is what we have. Now I will open this up and actually show you where the bulb is. So as you can see, this is the headlight assembly, and this is for the smaller halogen bulb, and this is for the larger halogen bulb. I'll just swivel it around and show you. So this is the bulb that we need to be replacing, this one over here. So for that, all you need to do is pop open this cover over here. It's basically a rubber protector that prevents water from entering. It's quite easy to get off. And actually, when I opened my car, I was surprised to see that this was already fallen off. And so I'm wondering if this thing popped off probably while I was driving, and probably there must have been some water that got in over here that actually damaged my bulb. So now, as you can see inside over here, this is where the bulb is, and that is what we need to get out. Alright, so as you can see, there are two screws over here that need to be loosened. One is this one here, and the other one is this one over here. Now I suggest that you do not completely remove the screw, just open it partially. You will require this kind of an attachment to your screwdriver, a smaller one than the one that we used in the start of the video, and basically you need to open these over here. Just loosen them partially, you don't need to completely loosen them, and the reason being is that basically what I did was I loosened them completely, and basically the screw fell into the actual housing inside over there, and it took me at least 15 minutes to get out. So I suggest that you do not loosen them completely, just loosen them partially, since you don't need to completely loosen them to get the halogen bulb out. After you've loosened it partially, just twist this counterclockwise so that the bulb comes out. Now once we get it out, I'll show you. So there was no need to completely open up the screws, because basically this didn't have a hole. The screw didn't pass all the way through it. It just allowed it to lock it over here and on this side over here. So once this is out, this is basically the part that we require, and as you can see over here, I will show you. Basically that small spring that you can see on the right hand side is basically supposed to go all the way till the end, but I think that it's basically that's what's actually destroyed. It's completely melted, and you can see the other part of the spring over there in the bottom rolling around in the chamber. So basically this bulb is completely useless at the moment. Now to get the bulb out, all you need to do is basically hold this end and pull really hard on the actual bulb, and I'm going to try and do that with one hand, but I doubt that I'll be able to do that. So So basically I'm just going to tell you what I have to do. So I have to hold the ends of the actual bulb housing and pull from this section of the bulb. I'll hold this section of the bulb and just yank it out basically. And then after that I'll take this bulb and go to my auto parts dealer, which is just 5 minutes away, and I'll see if he has the same bulb so that I can get a replacement for this. But let's see. So basically from here, this is basically where it separates. From here, this part will come out. So let's try and do that. I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna have to pause the video and do this with both my hands. Alright, so I used both my hands, and basically this is what it is. This is the bulb, and usually the specifications are there. You can see that 12 volts, 55 watts. This is basically what I need to get at the auto parts shop. So I'm going to go down, have a stroll, and see if I can find this bulb. And once I do, I'll get back to you. So this is the bulb I managed to pick up. This is the old one. As you can see over here, it's broken over here, this old one, and this is the new one. And it wasn't very expensive. I expected it to be around 300 or 400 rupees, but I ended up spending only 160 rupees for this new one. And I'm actually quite happy, since so far this hasn't been something that's extremely difficult to do by yourself. And I'm pretty sure that if I took it to a garage to get it done, they would charge me close to around 700-800 rupees to probably 1,000. And there'd be no way to argue with them, because I mean, we don't actually know the cost and the amount they charge for labor. But so far I've only spent 160 rupees on this, and now I'm going to try it out, and I'm going to put it back in and see how it works. So basically this was the housing, and basically there's only you don't need to worry about the polarity over here, because there's basically only one way that this bulb fits in properly due to this notch and the design of it. So that's quite smart on their part. So basically when you want to put this in, it's not going to allow you to put it another way, because it has this small bit over here. As you can see, both the sides are not symmetrical, so this will allow you to only put it in one specific way. As you can see over here, I've tried to put it in the wrong way, and basically this small portion of metal over here is not allowing it to basically sit completely on the head. So basically if we just flip this whole thing over and put it in the correct way, like this. So basically this allows it to sit in, and this is the correct way to put it. Once I actually secure it in, there shouldn't be much of a problem. There. As you can see, this portion over here coincides with this metal piece of the housing, and yeah, that's about it. This is the new bulb. Now we need to get it back inside over here. So make sure that you remember how you took it out. You can see in the video too, and I've showed that to you. So basically you shove this back inside over there, and these are the two screws on the side that you have not completely loosened. Please do not completely loosen those screws, because once you completely remove them and take them out, it'll be quite difficult to put those screws back in. And what happened to me was I ended up dropping one screw in the actual light, and it took me quite a bit of time to fish out that small screw. So you don't need to completely take out the screws, just loosen it so that you can twist the bulb and pull it out. And to put it back in, you just need to perform the same maneuver as before. As you can see, this is what it looks like without me securing it. and once I secure it, I will be getting this piece over here upwards and sliding it underneath the screw. As you can see, I've pushed that in and I've slid it under the screws. Now all I need to do is just tighten the screws. So I'll do that with the help of my screwdriver. Don't make it too tight. These are quite delicate parts and they just need to be secured in the car. They don't need to be extremely tight. Alright, so that's secured in. Now we need to put the entire light back into the car, and before that, let's not forget our cover, our rubber cover. It has to go on this, and I think this was the main reason for probably my light giving way, because I found this cover popped off basically. So you just need to slide this cover back on, and then you're good to go. Alright, so as you can see, this is basically how the light should go in. One thing I want to point out is that there are two clips over here. One is here and the other one is here, as you can see, and they have to coincide with two clips underneath, over here and over here. So I'm basically going to put this in and then show you the last part of the process. Alright, so I put the light in. It was relatively easy, not difficult, and these are basically our two holes that we have for our bolts, and make sure you keep the screws properly. So I've got screw number 1, screw number 2, and now let's put these screws back into place and then we should be done. We can start up the car and have a look at the new lights and see if they work fine. After you're done with everything, just make sure that you put the power cord back into its slot and make sure that you push quite firmly. So basically it's done. Now let's start the car and just hope that the lights turn on. So this one is working, and yes, both are working. So finally it's done, and yeah, that's about all for today. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and let's see what I'll do next time. Hey, so I'm finally done with that. It took since I was making the video, it did take a decent amount of time. It took probably an hour, but if you don't have to make a video and you just have to do it for the sake of doing it, you should be able to finish it in around 15 minutes. It's not something really tough. It was quite easy. I didn't have any problems throughout the video, except the one part where I dropped the screw into the light housing. That took me around 15-20 minutes to fish out that screw. So I realized that you didn't have to completely take out that screw to actually get the light out. You just need to loosen it and twist it, and you need to twist it counterclockwise, and when you're replacing it back in, you need to twist it clockwise. So yeah, that's about it, and it functions fine. If you had to go to a workshop, as I said before, they charge you quite a lot for doing that, probably 700-800 rupees maybe, and you wouldn't know why. You just accept the charges and just continue. But I managed to pick up the bulb for 160 rupees outside. So I think it's not only about the point of saving money, but it's also good to be handy once in a while, especially for small things like this. This wasn't something really complex or something that requires a lot of mechanical knowledge. You just need to have the proper approach to go about doing something like this, and yeah, that's about it. I hope that you all enjoyed the video and you all were able to understand everything. If there are any problems, you can message me in the comments and I'll reply as soon as I can, and that's about it for now. Basically, when I do have something else to make a video about, I will upload that and I will let you know. Thank you.